Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Je m'appelle Guru and today we are in the
Batignolles-Châtillon, Bourrasque.
yes, it is the Châtillon, Bourrasque. This is the new French tank for the missions. If you are here for the first time, please remember to subscribe and give this video a like because it helps my channel very much. Now, of course, if you are not French, you're just gonna call this the Bad Chat Bourrasque or the Bad Chat Bourrasque, or maybe if you're Asian or you're Japanese,
바티뇨르-샤티온 브르스크.
or if you're Korean.
베티그노우 채틸론 브라스크.
Let's hear that again in Korean.
베티그노우 채틸론 브라스크.
Bourrasque. Anyway, we are platoon here with another community contributor, Flying Elite, and I am actually in the tank on his right. We are riding with Flying Elite right now, and he's had a good game, so I thought I'd highlight his game. I'm going to give you two videos, one on Live Oaks and the other one in Cliff, the next game. This is actually my second and third game respectively. We just got this tank a couple of hours ago and immediately had to play a few games in it just to get a feel. So this was in the middle of Clan Wars season, so we were having like a half an hour break, 1 hour break, so we decided to test out these tanks and play it for a couple of games, and this is the footage that we got from it. So I'm going to share with you what's going on. In case you didn't know, the mission tank, this is the reward for the mission tank. Missions begin on the 21st of February through to 2nd of March. So you're talking about I don't know, 10 days, 9-10 days missions. As usual, do a lot of XP, base XP, and try to earn this tank or get it at 70% discount. If you play a lot, 50, 60, 70% discount, get as much discount as you get. Try to get this tank. Of course, this tank is a French autoloader. It is a medium tank with a two-shot autoloader, and it does 360 damage per shot, takes 21 seconds on reload. Of course, I've got my 5 skill crew in this thing from the Bad Chat, which means of course I'm getting a lot quicker reload time. I think the regular reload is 21 seconds stock, and if you have the 5 skill crew and shit like that, you can get it down to 19, which is what I have. And aim time 3.08 seconds aim time. It's pretty good. 3.80 seconds aim time. I mean, it's not great, but for 360 alpha damage, you're talking about 720 alpha for if you pen both your shots. And by the way, both premium and standard shells are APCR, which means you have really fast high velocity shells, doing 190 penetration on your standard shells, standard APCR, and 240 penetration on your premium shells. Now Elite here, he is the full gold noob here, and that's because he is trying to get the maximum damage or the maximum output he can get out of this game. Try to get ace tanker within his first couple of tries, which he successfully does. But what I'm saying is 190 penetration on the standard APCR shells isn't that great, so some people are going to be kind of struggling a bit with the 190 penetration, but you can easily tap that 2 key and get 240 pen if you want. If you're playing in a full tier 8 matchmaker, 190 penetration is going to be sufficient for you to play. It's not going to be a problem. But let's talk more about this tank. 1250 hit points it has. It's a medium tank, but it's got speed. It plays like a kind of like a light tank, but it's not a light tank, so it's like in between a light tank and a medium tank. I don't know what to say. It's got 62 kilometers an hour forward speed, 23 kilometers an hour reverse speed, so the reverse isn't that great, but the forward is not bad. But what is amazing about this tank, what I always say, the three fundamentals, the three pillars of this game is stealth, vision, mobility. And this tank has all three of it. 40% camo rating if you have all the camo skills. Your crew skills have all the camo rating. If you have camo paint, of course. If you have, basically if you maxed out all your camo skills, you're gonna be 40% camo rating stationary and 31% camo rating on the move. Now you saw the tank slow down a lot in the water. The soft stats are pretty bad on it in terms of terrain resistance. There are no soft stats published at the moment, but during our testing, when we drove into the water and into soft ground, the tank completely slowed down. Now you can see it's happening here again. It slowed down a lot, so it's not really great in terms of terrain resistance, but you can't have everything, right? 494 view range. I think the base view range on this tank is about 390, but if you got all the crew and all the shit on, optics and whatever, all the good shit, I'm getting 494 in mine with a 5 skill pad chat crew in it. So 40% camo stationary, 31% camo on the move. This is pretty good. You're talking about camo ratings from light tank territory here. When I'm talking light tank territory, I'm talking about the best light tank territory. Just like the LT432, you're getting 40% with all the crews and all the good stuff. 40% camo rating, of course, on the move as well. But getting 40% camo rating stationary is very, very good for a medium tank. It means you can snipe in stealth. Really good. The only tanks that are actually better than this is maybe the ELC Even, that tiny little tank, ELC Even 90. That's the only tank that's better than this tank. Even the LH MTV tiny tank only has, I think, about 41-42% camo rating max, and the LT432 has 40% camo rating max. Now this is the second game and we are in Cliff. This is my replay, so this is me playing it. I'm still platooned with my friend here, Flying Elite, another community contributor. We decide to take the hill, and what we're gonna do is try to be aggressive on the hill. I took a little bit of damage there. This guy is following me. Let me finish off this guy and try to run away from that guy behind me. Let me reload, and then I will try to finish off who's ever on the hill. Looks like it's 4 of us on the hill, which means we can totally dominate this hill as long as I don't get rushed by this T-44-100, which is a very capable aggressive combat tank, but he looks like he's bit off more than he can chew. He's trying to run away, but he's gotten taken out. Now this game does not have an artillery piece, because if it did, I would have been chewed up and taken a lot more damage, especially from if there was a 1 artillery or 2 artillery in the enemy team. So right now I'm going to spot this E75TS. Is this E75TS? I think it is. I'm still trying to fire the standard shells here because I'm trying to play the I'm trying to be real here, you know, try to give you a sense of what it feels like in the real world. You're not going to be firing premium shells all the time. A lot of the times you're going to be firing standard shells just to save on the costs, because this is a premium tank. You do want to earn credits from it, so I'm trying to be real here, fire the standard shells. There's no shots here for me. I'm going to try and look for some shots if I can. When I can't penetrate, you're going to see me face off with an E75TS frontally later, and I don't have a choice. I had to load the gold for that. Now it looks like we are going to get rushed from some guys, and this guy is brave. He's come in front. There's 3-4 of us. We're gonna take him on. It is a Cayenne Action X. I'm gonna take a hit for it here. Maybe not. Got his lower plate with the standard shell, no problem. Now I've there you go. one shell on his lower plate. Now I've loaded up the heat shells, and I am going to reload in my 19 seconds or whatever it takes. 21 seconds if you don't have the super crew that I have, but 19 seconds if you have a 5 skill crew. And I'm just going to go for his lower plate. Maybe I will eat a shot from him. I will try to avoid it if I can. If he's looking somewhere else, I'm going to try and reverse and sneak into him and see if I can get 2 shots off. And there you go, 1, 2, and game over. Now, like I said, I'm only doing this because there is no artillery in the enemy team, which means I can stay here stationary for a long time, because on normal games where there's artillery, you're going to be bombarded here a lot. So you need to take that into consideration before you try something like this. Now I'm going to try and spot down the enemy base, maybe the Scorpion or the tank destroyers at the back, see if I can spot them out. And this is kind of a tricky shot here. I almost had a shot later on, but I'll explain a bit later. But there you go, there's the Scorpion G, and I'm going to pump 2 premium shells into him. I really didn't need those premium shells into the side of a Scorpion, but once I already have it loaded, I don't ever go back to standard shells. That's just because that's my style of play. I tend to forget. I don't want to to remember juggling shells and shit like that. That's just, it's not that I want to be having premium shells loaded all the time. It's just that I couldn't be bothered taking that extra step to try to remember what kind of shells I have in my clip at the present moment. I don't pay attention to that. I pay attention a lot to the map, where I'm going, where the enemies are in front of me. So excuse me if I don't switch back to my standard shells. I just stay in my premium shells. That's just how I play. If you have the brain power or the RAM power to constantly remind yourself of what kind of shells you got, what kind of shells you need, then good on you. You can switch your shells if you want to, but I just completely switch off. Once I've switched to premium shells, I just stay there, and if I happen to remember to switch back to standard shells, I will. But I don't beat myself up a lot because of that. I do have a lot of credits. I don't care if I waste my credits there. But as you can see, I took a peek over the edge there to look at what's going on the east side. It looks like the Moots has moved. So I'm going to try and see if I can spot from the balcony over here and see if I can get some shots back into that Scorpion G again and whatever tanks over there now. Here's the funny part. I've not spotted there, so I want to try and take a shot at the Projector 46 that is on the island. So I'm fully aimed here. I tried to shoot these guys that were below me, but in retrospect I should have been aiming at the Projector. So I go for a second try here. There's that Projector. Fully aim my shots. I don't have a lot of gun depression here, but I try to make it count when I can. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. 2 shots, both of them hit the ground, and those were premium APCR shells. That is because the dispersion is 0.37. I think stock dispersion is 0.40. 0.40. So even with my 5 skill crew and vertical stabilizers and whatever, all the good stuff, is 0.37. It's not that great dispersion. Now I haven't seen the moving dispersions yet. That means I don't know what the dispersion is when you are traversing your hull or traversing your turret, or when there's a little bit of movement. The bloom goes a little bit bigger. They haven't published those numbers yet, so I don't know exactly what the moving dispersions are, but it seems to me like those moving dispersions means this accuracy can be a kind of trolly sometimes. But if you're used to driving French tanks, Batchats, Batchat APs, AMX-30, AMX-30Bs, ELC even, if you're used to playing French medium tanks and light tanks, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the trollish gun on this kind of tanks. Now here you see me hitting the water at full speed, and I almost come to a complete stop. Look at how much I am struggling in water. So crossing capacity is severely reduced in this tank in soft terrain and water, I suppose. Like I said, they have not published those numbers yet, so I don't know exactly what those numbers are, but I assure you it sucks to drive through water and soft terrain. But here you see me doing 3000 plus damage. I'm going to be closing out this game after these two shots with a grand total of 3.9k damage, which was good enough for a first class, but not good enough for an ace tanker. I was just a couple of XP short of the ace tanker. But here are the results of the first game. This is not the result of the first game, actually. This is the wrong result. But on the first game, that was my result, but Flying Elite got an ace tanker there for a 3,900 game and 1,000 spotting for his game. And for my game, I only got a second class because I did just over 2,000 damage in my second game. Here is the cliff game that I got a first class, just shy of 4,000 damage, but that's the problem, the spotting. I didn't do enough spotting to get the ace tanker. But there you go, that was my first impression of this tank. Do I like it? Yes, I like it very, very, very much. And do I want to grind in? No, I don't really want to do the missions because I'm lazy, but I do want this tank very much. I'm going to play it a lot. It's really nice. I enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed this video and hope you enjoyed this quick reaction video. Until the next time, au revoir, or in Japanese,
sayonara.
sayonara. Korean,
안녕히 가세요.
thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.